advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information that is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jost, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jost.
Hey y'all, I'm so glad you're here. And can I just say how much I love that music? I am a total rocker and I just start jamming when I hear that music. I love it. I did pick it. So I hope y'all like it. Even if you don't like rock, it's kind of got a good beat, right? Today, we have a great show for you. So this is a series that I did. It's called Live Your Diamond Life, Authentic Q&A for Women. And then I'm going to do different chapters, which is going to have a different heading. So you can check out some other Live Your Diamond Lives series in the questions in the series, and it might suit you just fine. I also have another series that I wanted to talk about. I did last year, my first year doing a podcast, which is hilarious. I pulled up one of the episodes. Oh my goodness. I have my lashes like batting like crazy, and they're so ridiculous. I had to laugh at myself a little bit. So that's called Soul Sisters series. And you can find that under Rock My Finances as well. And it's just me and my besties and my girlfriends. We get together and talk about everything under the sun. And it's pretty funny. Like they're totally cutting up on me and my lashes. So check out this Soul Sisters series too. Okay, so this is chapter 2. I've already done chapter 1, so you have to go check that out. Chapter 2, trusting yourself with money. Now, I'm going to say things here that you're not going to think I'm going to say, which is going to be great because you want to hear different things out there, right? Okay. What I did was I have a bunch of questions that have come into me over the many, many, many years, and I've tried to categorize those into certain topics. And those are the topics that I'm going to bring up on each Live Your Diamond Life Q&A series. So this is one of the questions that I received. Why do so many women feel like they can't trust themselves with money? Great question, right? It's going to be a very different answer. I can tell you that right now. I know a lot of women never feel like they were invited to financial conversations as growing up. We didn't learn it in the household, maybe. And a key thing that I want to ask you all, what did money feel like in your household growing up? I know we're asking the question about trust and how do we trust ourselves with money now, but I need to know, what did money feel like in your household growing up? One thing, your parents could be fighting. Money conflict could be in the household. You might have lived like me. I raised my kids as a single mom most of their life. And there was no money conflict because we didn't talk about it because I didn't have a spouse to argue with. So I had to sit down and, include my children in these decisions with money. Money conflict. So if children repeatedly see arguments about spending, debt, financial decisions, or, if like one person's sitting at home paying the bills and she's stressed, you could tell mom's paying the bills or dad's paying the bills and they have a different demeanor. They're scary that you don't want to go in and talk to them. You don't want to ask them a question about your homework, whatever it is. We all, as children, internalize all of these things at that time. And so this is going to make us think that talking about money is dangerous. Yep, my cell phone just went off. Sorry, y'all. Okay. This makes a difference in our belief around money and our trust around money. So we might think that talking about money is going to be scary just from experiencing that as a child. We might not even remember it. It's just, it's subconscious, right? It's just in there that when people talk about money, things get weird around the house, whatever that might be. and we might want to avoid the topic. I call you ostriches. Do we have any ostriches out there that we literally don't even want to talk about the money? We don't want to look at our bank account. We just want to spend as we want. When it's gone, then we don't spend until we get more. Like there's lots of different patterns. So another adult pattern might be to avoid budgeting altogether, avoid investing, or any financial conversations with your partners. Now, let me take this a little one step further. It's not only that you avoid it, but you feel horrible when someone brings it up. So put your hand on your body wherever you feel stress around money. Mine is like right above my belly button, like my stomach. Sometimes it's in my chest. So that's when I'm anxious, right? So if we put our hands here and we feel this right now, and we just breathe into that and take a moment to get some clarity, because we're not in our childhood home anymore. We are adults. We run our life. We control where we spend money. Did you know that? I know you might be thinking it controls you, but nope. You make the final decision. We don't even have to play in this money game. Anybody can go pitch a tent. I know San Francisco's great at it, has a huge homeless population, and not even play the money game. So if you choose to play the money game and be in this wonderful USA and want to trade money for services and products and food and water now and anything, then that's your choice. So we want to take control back and realize that that is our choice. The second thing that might be causing some trust issues is the stress and or scarcity around money. I mean, even though, there's households that have enough income, they have completely constant tension about money. And that creates a feeling of scarcity. Kids may even believe that they're fearing that there's not enough. They don't even know what that means, right? But when we always hear no as a child, nope, we might even heard can't afford it. How many have said that word? When really, sometimes I should say, not everyone, but I can afford it. I just choose not to afford it. But that was easier to tell my kids, sorry, can't afford it. Money's not there. Money's not there. My kids even told me one point, because I was a single mom, we had a beautiful home. We had a 4,300 square foot beautiful home in California. I did my due diligence, making sure my kids grew up, well. They never felt the issues. I did have several rentals and homes, and then 2008, 9, 10 happened. A divorce happened, lost a business, all kinds of things happened. And so the word of the house was no. Like there was no extras at that point. We needed to get back on our feet. I've done this several times, and the word of the house was no. So they started thinking that I was saving this money and not sharing it with them. So like when they got older, like, I know you have lots and lots, that you just said no to us for the reason. I'm like, no, that I would never say no for the reason, for a different reason than what I was telling you. But we do choose where we want to spend our money, right? So I might say I can't afford it when actuality, no, I'm putting this money over here instead. No, I'm paying for your braces instead. No, I'm saving for your car. No, I'm putting it in my retirement. No, I'm putting it in our vacation fund. Whatever it might be. But we have to be clear in our own brain so that we can reduce our stress and reduce our words around scarcity, because that will attract, right? I'm a big law of attraction believer. And so our words count, they matter, and they make a difference. So we have to look at what we're saying, and we need to realize that we have that choice. So if you grew up in a household that there was just never enough and spending money felt very risky in the household, again, the question is, how did you feel about money when you were growing up? My F word, my favorite F word. So an adult pattern around that would be they may oversave, they fear spending, or they experience a chronic financial anxiety. So as a money coach and a financial advisor, I have several clients, right, that fit this bill. I had a gal come to me, over $150,000 in her savings account. And she just held on to money like this, like her fists, they were not coming out of her fists. And so she was just so afraid. And she wanted to pay off her house. Her husband did not want to pay off his house. They had money to pay it off. But he knew that the money was making money where it was at. And if they paid off the house, it would not be making money because the house is going to grow in equity regardless of what the loan is on it, right? And this is where I go as a money coach. I work for you, right? I work for you and your beliefs and your emotions. And this wife was just bawling. She's like, I have to have my house paid off. Now, she grew up in a huge scarcity, no spending money household, and her parents wanted her to have the deed of the house, period. Or you were nowhere. You were nothing if you did not own your own home outright. There's no way that that poor husband could fight against that parent upbringing. There's just no way. So what did we do? Paid off her house. Now she could relax. She could reduce her stress. Then we were able to come up with an amazing financial plan. And I don't call it a budget because that's restriction. I call it a spending plan over the next 5 years to get them to retirement, to get them to where they want to be. And she did it with way more fun, way more ease, and way more joy because she got to get rid of that really big fear that was, her chip on her shoulder. So everybody is different. But when we grow up with money stress and scarcity, it does show up. Here's the trick. Here's the big aha, woohoo moment. We all have a relationship with money, and it does not start when you're 18. Sorry, it starts when you're 8. It starts when you're 5. It starts when you're 3. It starts in your household growing up. And how people felt about money comes out in your relationship with money today. That is basically 100% of my coaching business is helping people realize that they have subconscious beliefs around money, fears around money that we need to clear out. Simple as that. And when we clear them out, it's all good. Here's another question that we might have. Money secrecy. Oh goodness, if one parent hides purchases, debts, or accounts from another, children may learn from that financial honesty isn't necessary, and hiding money decisions are normal. That is not okay. I know we see this in the movies all the time. The mom or the wife might buy a purse or do something that they hide and they don't tell the husband. They really don't want to tell. They just want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the arguing, the fighting, whatever it might be. They might have a great reason for it. Now, there's also obviously financial abuse as well. I have several clients that have experienced that. And I'm a certified divorce financial analyst. So I've had several cases that the less income earner was definitely experiencing financial abuse where they had no access to any accounts, any information. They've never seen their taxes. They never knew what anybody was spending, what anybody was making. They just didn't have access to any of that. They'd have one account that they had access to that would get money put monthly, and that was it. They had no idea that they were actually multimillionaires and that they could do whatever they want to do. I've seen so many cases of this. So financial secrecy is a no-no. As adults now, if you've experienced that as a child, you may be hiding your spending and your debt and making secrecy financial decisions in your relationship because you were taught that it was okay. Now, we all know, let's see. Oh my God, what was his name? I love being in my 60s. I can't remember a damn thing. I can picture him right now. Anyways, he wrote a book on childhood shame. And it was all about keeping a secret. Now, I know from 12-step programs, secrets are just terrible. They're the disease, right? They are the disease is keeping secrets. So if you're keeping any type of secret from your spouse or your business partner, or even your kids that you feel like you need to share that with them, it is going to fester inside your body. I believe in Louise Hay. I believe in, healing your body. And I believe in stress equals illness, anxiety, all of that, right? So when we are keeping secrets, it's not healthy for us. We're not making good decisions. And you probably don't have to keep the secret anyways. And if you do have to keep the secret, then you shouldn't be doing it. You should not be doing it because there's no reason to have that extra stress on your body. Okay, next. Money is someone else's job. Okay, so if one parent handles the finances while another completely disengages, and the children may believe that money management is not their responsibility, somebody else will handle it. So how many of you out there have experienced that? So that again is something that we can fix. And I do that as well. As a financial advisor, I partner with my clients. A lot of women come in, a lot of men actually bring me their wives because they want their wives educated and they don't want to fight. So they bring in as the couple, and then we educate the wife about the finances. Now, she might be the bigger breadwinner as well. I've had that probably 50% of the time. My women earn more than the men. It's not about the earnings, it's about feeling comfortable around money, having that good relationship with money, and being okay to handle the finances. Now, there's daily finances and then there's annual finances, right? So there's the cash flow and the spending plan, which is our daily situation. And then we have our retirement savings, our savings in our accounts, what our big purchases that we're going to make, and our future. Sometimes most of the time, those are two different people. So what I make sure is that with my couples, that they're both on the same page with both your daily spending and your future spending. And however we do that together, I want you both educated on both sides of the situation. Now, when we have spouses and when we have business partners together, and when we have people doing money together, guess what? We have to uncover these childhood beliefs because they're the ones that are showing up in our life today. So we want to uncover what's happening when we grew up so that we can say, oh, she doesn't want to spend money on that, but really that's her child saying that she can't afford it. So really, if we look at all the numbers, we actually can afford it. And then we can have a nice conversation instead of, rebelling or just spending it anyways. Like there's so many different ways, right? Someone else's job too leaves your other person overwhelmed. Nobody wants to do it all on their own. So I do partner with a lot of wives that it is on their shoulders to handle all this. Either the husband doesn't have time or he doesn't really want to deal with it. Even just the cash flow part, he might handle the retirement savings, investing might be fine, but she's overwhelmed just by handling the household. And so I partner with her to make sure that everything's spending according to their budget and what they want. I don't know if you can hear my cat, but Luna is at my feet dying to come up here. She's going to knock something off in a minute, I can tell you. Okay, so love our little creatures, right? She's adorable. I'll try to bring her up one of these times. Okay, next one. Love money equals love or approval. Oh my goodness. And some conflicts inside of our growing up homes, a parent might compensate emotionally with spending, such as buying gifts, and after a fight maybe, or after a bad evening, overspending out of guilt. And children may associate money with affection or approval. Now, I can say that I experienced this growing up. So my parents, my dad was an alcoholic. We have said that on the show before. My mom was a grade A codependent. And there was times they were very frugal in daily lives, and but then they would splurge on other things. But I could tell when my mom would take me out, she did not like to shop, but she'd take me out shopping when she was mad at my dad. I can say it handed maybe 3 or 4 times in my life that I can actually remember. But it did give me that same type of feeling that if I wanted to go award myself for something, and change my feeling, that I could go buy something. Now, I never was an overspender or anything like that, but it did give me to me, it gave me the feeling of like payback. It wasn't necessarily love or approval, but I got the payback feeling from that. So an adult pattern from love or approval is they may engage in emotional spending or equate money with love. So now, I don't want to confuse this with our 5 love languages. I think there's 5. One of them is gift giving. Now, if you feel good when you give a gift, that's not necessarily trying to buy someone's love. That's not what we're saying. So keep those 2 separate. We are saying that some people might want to receive the gifts to feel like they're loved, and they might be treated like crap. Oh my God, you be quiet. They might be being treated like crap the rest of the time, but they might be wined and dined, or they might be bought a car or just something crazy, or a trip. You see this on TV all the time, right? And so when money equates to love, we either want to hang on to the money and we are not getting our true intimacy that we all deserve. Loving ourselves has to be first. We can't we can't do that with money. Money is just a tool, y'all. It's literally just a tool. It is something that United States have brought up to say trading goods and services for money. That's what it is. It's just a big old game. So we want to make sure that we are fulfilling ourselves with love and loving ourselves before we start worrying about the money issues. So we got to do that first, which of course, Money Coach would be fabulous at helping you do that so that you can take care of your money along with loving yourself at the same time. Okay, last one. Money equals survival. In a very high conflict home, financial stability, children may feel like they must take care of themselves financially and not count on anyone else. I don't know about you, but I did work my whole life. My parents gave me an allowance all the time. So I did not have this growing up, but a lot of my clients have as well. And so they want to make sure that they are separate. So the husband and wife will come to me with separate money, separate bank accounts, separate everything, because it is survival for them. And for a lot of us women out there, money is our survival. Like it is our security. It is our future. We want to make sure that we're not going to be bag ladies and cat women and all of those stereotypes that we've heard. And that's okay. We can actually work through those beliefs so that we don't feel that way. So if you're feeling that way, that's a trigger that you need to look back at those beliefs and address your money accordingly. Have your savings, have your budgeting, have your spending plan so that you know where your money is, and all of these things are going to feel better. I hope this was good for y'all. I have another show coming right up. So check out all the episodes of the Live the Diamond Life Q&A. And I want you all to be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.